If you are a young guy who's been feeling lost or directionless recently, you need to understand this one lie that you've been told your entire life and how you can actually improve and find your direction and purpose. See, I'm building this account not for viewers or followers, but with the goal of knowing that I've helped someone out there find his purpose. Because I've been there personally. See, about 3 years ago, I hit what I felt was rock bottom. I just turned 20 and I was miserable. It was weird on my birthday. I just felt like this deep sense of what am I doing with my life? And I couldn't climb my way out of these feelings. See, most guys I know, including myself, had this idea of don't talk about how you're feeling, just go to the gym and spam bicep curls until you felt better. And while 50% of that might be true, it wasn't the full truth. See, I learned after traveling for 3 years alone, living in Australia and New Zealand, meditating with monks in Thailand, talking about your mental problems won't fix them. They might relieve some tension, but the truth is, to really fix how your brain forms these negative thoughts, you shouldn't just try to speak about it. You need to physically walk out of it. And I mean walk, really just change your environment and you'll change your thoughts. It's actually really amazing. At least that's how I did it. There's a lot of science about how nature, sunlight, and traveling the world improves your mental health. I'm not here to talk about science because I'm not a scientist. I don't pretend to be either. I am talking as someone who's lived that pain firsthand. See, men are different to women, obviously. And the issue I feel faces a lot of young men today is that all these systems, charities, all these self-help lines are built on talking about how you are feeling, which is a metric that aligns more with women than with men. Talking about your problems heals the symptoms, not the cause. Like a doctor prescribing painkillers, it helps relieve your pain, but it doesn't fix the underlying issue that's causing it. This is where the solution comes in. Movement. While talking can help pain, movement prevents it. Ever notice that the oldest people who live the longest are the ones always on the move, whether shopping, socializing, gardening, or cooking? They're always keeping their minds busy. The people that sit and watch TV all day long, I can guarantee don't live nearly as long in life. As young men, our bodies are built for moving, lifting, hanging from trees, roaming the earth and exploring. Not for a 9-to-5 office desk job and doom scrolling till 1 a.m. If you change your environment, you can change or break your negative thoughts and replace them with better new ones. What I'm not saying is go and fill your day with meaningless tasks so you can avoid how you're feeling, because avoiding is also just as dangerous, which makes it a fine line here. You must accept how you feel and have the power to say no and change how you feel. Okay, but now you're probably thinking, what are you talking about? How do I change how I feel? Well, exploring and traveling the world will get you some of the way, but not all of the way. The second step in the equation is this. But first, let me tell you a quick story about magic mushrooms. I swear it's connected. Just give me a minute to explain. When I was in northern Thailand in a town called Pai, I met this really cool guy from the Netherlands. And after about 20 minutes of meeting him, we decided to do what they call in Thailand a happy shake. Bet you can guess what it does. We walked around to this tiny little bar that overlooked the rice fields in the mountains. We bought our happy shakes and laid in the hammocks until it kicked in, which took about 10 minutes, to be honest. It was pretty quick. The next 9 hours were unforgettable. However, there was a moment, a brief moment, that several negative thoughts creeped into my mind. I started thinking like how I did on my 20th birthday, wondering if I am where I'm supposed to be, if I'm good enough, if people actually liked me. The technique I found to get me out of that spiral cut out the negative thoughts instantly. This is what I did. I took a step back out of my brain. I thought, I don't need to be thinking about this. I then thought of the old man who I saw sitting outside the 7-Eleven in Bangkok, who was weeping for spare change as he rolled about on a board with wheels since he had no legs. His movement is close to zero. But I had the luxury for that problem to not even cross my mind. So I stood up out of that hammock, walked away from my negative thoughts, and me and my friends walked happily for the rest of the day through the rice fields high as kites. If you want to leave your negative thoughts, you must walk out of them. Move out of your bad thoughts and towards your good ones. Change your environment. Choose to move now. Don't wait until you can't and regret it later. Escape your negativity. Dare to move.